How do you build a second chance into something bigger than yourself?
Everybody signed in.
Pull it forward, and you going to swing grab. Both of those are going on the floor. Yeah. My name is Bryan Cooper. I'm the CEO and owner of All in One Stop Moving and Storage. We are based out of Hyattsville, Maryland. My father was in the Air Force, grew up in Clinton, Maryland. Life was good, you know. At that age, we were outside running around till the street lights come on, and you know, just average childhood. All in One Stop was created, I guess you could say, out of necessity. My partner and I at the time were working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and we decided that we had hit that ceiling, that we weren't going to advance any further. So an opportunity came up, and it allowed us to take over a moving company. At that time, we dealt with how would I put this? With interior designers based out of the Washington Design Center, high-end furniture, and because of the managerial staff at Enterprise, I thought that would transfer to the moving company, but I was in for a big shock. It wasn't the same thing. It didn't go as well as we planned, had some ups and downs, and then the real estate market took a turn for the worse, and we were stuck with trying to provide a service that wasn't really needed at the time. So we transitioned to the moving company, and I started that because I needed an immediate cash flow. That's how All in One Stop started. I named it All in One Stop because we were doing residential cleaning as well as moving. So I've always wanted to help give back to the community. Wasn't sure how I would ever be able to do it to this level. I had opportunities when a couple of buddies came home. I was able to employ them and vouch for them with the POs, letting them know that they worked here, showing visibility that they actually were working. And then as we grew, it allowed me to have more work and present my employment opportunities to those coming home on a regular basis. Like I said, just coming through the system and knowing the hardships that people face when they come home, getting a job because of that, staying on their record. You know, you got to be able to have an opportunity and a chance, and that's what I wanted to try to do, is give people a chance to just get started. Well, like any business, it's always a cash flow. You got to have the money to start a business, and for me, it was resources in terms of like administrative stuff. I'm not the most proficient person when it comes to the computer and all the other stuff that goes in, and luckily I had my sister Tanya to help me with that. So once I got over that hurdle and having the money to do the things like that I needed, like have a truck, get supplies, marketing, then it was an easier road to travel. So I hire young black men. It's kind of twofold. We know that those young black men are the future, and we want to make sure that it's in a positive way and a negative way. You know, it can go up or down, but giving these young men an opportunity to better themselves. A lot of times these young men that come in here, they don't have a skill set. They don't have the communication skills that needed. They don't have the professional development. So I try to make sure that in everyday dealings, from the time you come in here, you're speaking, you're knowing how to articulate yourself, you're knowing how to be punctual, just the things that the older generation was taught, they haven't been taught. So we want to make sure that we give them these necessary skills to allow them to advance. It's a way to give them hope. I've experienced a lot of things in my time here, and I don't think that they understand that there's more down the road. So being able to employ them and slow them down and also try to mentor them hopefully will stop them from going back and doing the same thing, because unfortunately a lot of times these youth go behind these doors, get locked up, and they don't come back out because they've done something heinous. They let 1 second define the rest of their lives. So if I can do something to help them from making that mistake and being stuck on the other side of that door, that's what I'm going to do.
All right, my name is Michael Ednoff. I'm 29 years old from Southeast DC. Born and raised here. Been working here since 2017, and always glad to be a part of something with great expectations. Anytime that I need something, he's always there. He's very straightforward, doesn't beat around the bush, and anytime that you want to get some work in, he's got some work available for anybody. So as long as you are a hard worker and you're gonna make it work with whatever we got going on here, with moving furniture, lifting up stuff, running stairs, talking to the customers, it's a good deal. With Mr. B's leadership, if you are somebody who's going to be a hard worker, if you're somebody who's going to be on time, if you're somebody that's going to have some loyalty with you, then it's going to be all good and gravy. There's never going to be a bad time as long as you're straightforward with him, as long as you're always moving, as long as you're hustling, and as long as you are always on your toes, being ready to do whatever's asked and make an opportunity out of anything. You're going to be good in his hands. Having a brotherhood and being on a team, just like football, basketball, be on a boxing team, mixed martial arts, having the hard work, the camaraderie, being a good teammate, whether it's packing up some furniture, whether it's rapping, whether it's running the stairs, whether it's packing the truck, whether it's talking with the customer, you're going to be in good hands. Everybody knows their place, everybody knows their role, and as long as you can get on the team and know where to go and fit in, you're going to be all good. The things that inspire me to show up every day is money. But all jokes aside, knowing that you can either get a good tip from a customer, if you can make a difference with moving anything to somebody who's being in a home where they have to get out or they need to move or anything of that sort, you're always going to be in good hands with that being said. On a job, we were moving out somebody out of a very big house. The crew was about 4 or 5 gentlemen, and it was a 2-day move, and we all got tipped over $250 each, and we showed professionalism, we showed leadership, and we showed how to be a nice worker, and all that will come into play. As long as you show all that stuff, you'll get a good tip. Not saying every customer will tip you that well, but you're gonna get something good out of it. It could be food, maybe they're giving away a motorcycle, a car, TV, anything. It's all been done before, so it's a great thing to do. I could give one piece of advice to anybody coming out, coming home, getting introduced back into society. Work hard, take it on the chin. Constructive criticism is key. No matter what, you always need to know that you can be a better man at the end of the day. So as long as you keep pushing, keep working hard, you're going to get a good experience, whether it's learning how to talk better, whether it's learning how to work better with human beings, and whether it's just learning how to work hard. It's always going to be a good deal.
You have to have integrity. You have to be trustworthy when nobody's looking. So I kind of instill and I kind of put them in my position saying, hey, I gave you an opportunity. Don't mess it up for me by going in and doing something crazy that's going to affect my company, because you can go get another job. I can't go get another moving company, and that's not going to allow me to help those that are coming behind you. The good thing is a lot of times these young men come in here, and when they see how we moving and how the operation goes, they want to call their friends and say, hey, I'm working for this great company over here, all in one stop. You know, they're fair. You should come over here and try it out. So it allows me to stretch my reach out further in the community. For me, it's the fact that, you know, not being biased, but we're an all black company. When people see 25, 30 guys that are all black that come in, they're dressed to the T with all the same uniform, they're respectful, and the most important thing is they go in there and they work hard. You don't have to, I've never had a complaint where somebody said, oh, you guys charge on an hourly rate. I don't know if the guys are gonna be trying to milk the clock or whatever. The guys go in there and get it done, and I know that that's gonna happen, and I stand behind that. And when I know that the team is out there and they're getting it done, and the customers call me and say, hey, you got a great product here, a great bunch of guys, that's all I need. It makes it that much more wonderful for me. Talk about teamwork when we do the interview, because you've got so many different guys working with each other. They have to be respectful and mindful of each other in that space, because you're in a small space and you're working. It's kind of like a family environment or a football team. One is helping the other, and if everybody doesn't do the same things that they're supposed to do, then the whole team fails. And I think that establishes a lot of respect for the guys, knowing that, hey, we have to do these things for the company to advance and not to disappoint Mr. B. And a lot of the youth don't have those social interaction skills, because everything is so automated with the computers and the phones. Part of me wanting to give back was to bring back that old school style of living where kids were kids. You know, you knew who lived over in the next neighborhood. You knew who was good in basketball, who was good in sports, and just have that ability to be able to interact with each other on a friendly level. So I wanted to be able to take what I had. We had a boxing summer camp here. We had 45 kids. And I didn't realize as time went on that although those kids were here, when they finished, they went on years later to still be in communication with each other, and that was part of the goal that we wanted to establish. So most definitely responsibility and leadership. Some guys come in and they don't know anything about the moving industry. I deal with people that come in that box as well as mentor, and they're able to look and soak up everything that we're kind of trying to do, and then try to emulate those same things, like coming to work on time, working hard. So I get to see these things manifest right before my eyes as they progress and move forward.
My name is Taiwan Briscoe. I'm 48. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I've been working at All in One Stop in Charlottesville for Mr. Cooper for about 3.5 months now. Before I started working here at All in One Stop, initially I was in landscaping through a family friend. I was doing landscaping, and due to a multitude of inclement weather, I found myself without a job, you know, on many a days, so I couldn't really earn no money. And I got connected with Employ Prince George, which also had connections with Mr. Cooper at All in One Stop. And I had mentioned one day, you know, after being frustrated, that I wanted to be able to work because I couldn't earn money. And through that, I got in contact. Mr. Goodson, Mr. Pete Goodson, he had mentioned to me that he had a friend that was looking for some guys, hard workers, at a moving company, which he was referring to Mr. Cooper and All in One Stop. And he referred me to him and gave him my information. And, you know, within the same day, Mr. Cooper returned the call to me and spoke to me briefly, whereas though we were able to set up and schedule an interview, in-person interview. The fact that Mr. Cooper took a chance on, you know, giving me employment means a lot to me, because, you know, I'm a returning citizen, and, you know, I just, you know, sometimes it's a stigma and a bad cloud over us, and, you know, those of us who really want an opportunity and really want to, you know, do the right thing and work hard and, you know, keep a clean nose, you know, appreciate an opportunity like this, and just being able to work and you know, and just, you know, be a law-abiding citizen and do things the right way. The toughest thing about this job, I would say, just, you know, just being able to, you know, challenge yourself physically, you know, because it's, you know, as Mr. Cooper said, this is a man's job. You know, and you know, this, you're gonna be lifting boxes, you're gonna be lifting heavy stuff, you know. So it's just, you know, being able to push through those times and get familiar with the job and get familiar with certain techniques and strategies on how to move certain stuff, how to pack certain stuff, how to work as a team together to lift and move stuff. You learn that over the course of time. You got guys here that are veterans, and they're willing to teach you and have been teaching me as well. So those are the times that I would say in the past moving forward has been the challenges and tough times. But at the point that I'm at now, I welcome the challenge, and I welcome the the knowledge of learning more stuff. Being a returning citizen and working here makes me think differently about my future and my goals, because I've always heard that while I was incarcerated, that being a felon, that no one's willing to risk or take a chance with you. So being able to communicate and connect with All in One Stop and Mr. Cooper, I really appreciate the opportunity for him taking a chance on me, and and I think that he see that his chance that he took with me has been well worth the reward. Working here changes the way people think about guys with the past, because, and the way that it changes is like, like I said before, sometimes being incarcerated, people don't feel that, you'll come out and do the right thing. Sometimes it's, a stereotype about people coming from prison and coming on into society again, returning citizens. But, all you got to do to prove them wrong and is just keep on, your motivation, what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Just block out the noise and just do what you're supposed to do as a man, and you're gonna be successful. Never doubt yourself. Always strive and push forward to elevate yourself as a man, and you'll be fine. Okay. My proudest moment here at All in One Stop, I would have to say, is communication with the customers. When you packing their furniture and you take pride in packing their stuff, and you take care of packing their stuff and moving their stuff, and then when you move them from one spot to another, and then they say that they appreciate it, or they have a happy smile on their face, and that what you did mattered to them, that's that they showed that gratitude, that's fulfilling to me. So that's what I enjoy, when I see that I've made a difference by doing the simplest thing, by doing my job.
I think when people look at us and they see the moving company, they have a different respect. I tell people all the time that we're not doing anything other than what we're supposed to do, but you're just not used to it. So if you pay your money, you're supposed to get a certain type of service, but because you don't get that service all the time, when you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, this was the best service. No, you're supposed to get that service all the time. So that's what we're doing. We're giving that service on a regular basis, because that's what you're paying for. I would tell myself to pay attention and listen to those that were trying to pave the way for me based on their experience, and take heed, because at that age you think you think you know everything, and you don't know anything. So I would definitely ride the coattails of those that were before me, trying to pull me up and say, hey, this is the right way to do it. They got 50, 55, 60 years of experience, and I got 18. I would definitely listen to them. You've made a mistake. That mistake does not define you. You can still push forward.
You got one more. You got in there, Mike? The rest of y'all can get in this van right here? Yeah. You're going to 300 White Street. But y'all can go to 711 first.
Special shout out to Darius and the crew for coming through today. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about what we're doing, a little bit about our story, how we have helped, and the direction that we're going in now.